Let's be honest, nobody wants to talk about this. But today we are going there. We all know about sexually transmitted diseases, but what about sexually transmitted wealth? Yes, wealth. We talk about money, lifestyle, connection, and opportunities because the person you choose to be with can either upgrade your life or completely destroy it. And most people, they are one relationship away from financial disaster. Guys, welcome to the channel. This is I know it's a controversial topic to many of you, but I think it's about time we talk about it because the person you choose to be with can either make you become wealthy or make you poor. And it's about time we think about this more holistically. We make decisions when it comes to relationship based on financial circumstance, but not based on emotion. Because most of the time, we are moved by the emotion, the beauty, the handsomeness, without considering that there is a financial aspect that is involved. And most of the relationship nowadays are dying because of financial difficulties, financial disagreements, which are never resolved or are never taken into consideration when people are coming into a relationship. Okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about. I hope you're going to join this live stream. And if you're not be watching this video after the live stream, let me know what you think about this. Is financial, is money or financial decision necessary when it comes to a relationship? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so let's dive into this and discuss this topic. So first of all, what is sexually transmitted wealth? Hmm? Sexually transmitted wealth is simple. It's the idea that you can gain or lose based on the person you meet, marry, or you sleep with. In fact, they normally say that that connection that you normally uh, gain, that energy when you sleep with someone is very critical. Make sure you don't sleep around with anyone because the people you sleep with, they are gonna transmit their energy to you. And if they got a negative energy, it's gonna haunt you forever. Okay. So let's break it down. You meet someone, they introduce you to opportunities, they upgrade your mindset, they connect you with powerful people, they push you to earn more, and boom, your life changes. Okay. That is when you meet someone who has positive energy towards money. Okay. And then on the other side, you meet someone broke mentally, no ambition, no money habits, always in debt. Okay. And the next thing you know, you are broke too. You see, that's how it happens. Because most of the time, we never take into consideration these aspects. Yeah. The person you meet with, the person you connect your energy with is very important, especially when it comes to sexual intercourse. You might meet, and if the relationship dies before you transmitted fluids, kinda not that bad. But if it gets to that level and you end up with the wrong person, although sometimes it's very hard to tell whether the person that you're meeting with is the right person, that's why you need to take time. That's why you need to evaluate the person very keenly. Mhm. On one side, you meet someone who's ambitious, someone who has, you know, some dreams, someone who has achieved. They normally say that you don't look for someone who you are in the same level or someone who you can upgrade one another. But let me tell you, if the two of you are broke, who is going to uplift each other? If the two of you have worked on yourself, you have been able to grow as a person, as you internally yourself, you know money habits, you know how to save, you know how to work for your money, and you meet someone who has the same ambition, then you are going to thrive together. But you find someone, you yourself, you have worked on yourself, you know money habits, you know how to save, you know how to invest, you know how to work, you know how to create a business. And then you meet someone who does not even know anything about money. He or she knows how to spend. That person is going to take you down. You can never change someone who you are not in the same level. So if you're saying that thereafter you're going to change this person, you are completely wrong. You better meet someone who you're in the same level, someone who knows what it takes to save, or someone who knows how to handle money. Because most of the people, their relationship fail because one person wants to spend, the other one wants to make money. So those are two conflicting ideas, those are two conflicting minds, and they cannot work together because one person wants to grow, want to make money, the other one person wants to spend. In the other side, you meet someone, you are a business person, you love doing business, you love making money through business. The other person does not want anything to do with business. They are completely out of business. So convincing them that, we need to do this business is going to take a whole energy. And sometimes it drains you. You find yourself very frustrated sometimes because your energy is towards building something. And this other person, maybe on their side, they want just want to chill, they just want to that comfort life. So, my friend, whatever decision, whenever it comes to relationship, make it based on financial knowledge. Okay, so let's continue. All right, please, if you're joining this live stream, make sure you like the video, subscribe down below, and let me know what you think about this. So, relationships are financial decision. Listen carefully. Choosing a partner is not an emotion. I know it's been based on emotion, but today, going forward, don't base it on emotion. Base it on the habits that that person exhibits. So, who you date affects your spending habits. How you spend is based on who you are with. If the person you have with loves spending, you're gonna be spending and spending, and you exhaust all your income. Mm. They affect your investment. Either they motivate you to invest or they motivate you to not to invest. Yeah, because you find that, let's say, for instance, if the person you're meeting with, that is the person he does invest in stocks, in money market fund, you're gonna be having this conversation together. You're gonna be telling one another, you know, I am now investing in this money market fund, and then they will tell you, we can also invest in maybe Britain money market fund. We can invest in a Safaricom money market fund. Those kind of conversation, those are the things we're going to be having. But you are an investor, and this other person does not know anything about investment. So whenever you're talking about investment, they are floating. You might not be in the same line on investment, but at least so long it's in the line of growing wealth, let's say they have invested in agriculture, that's still investment. You yourself, you have invested in stocks, it's still investment, but at least you, the two of you, are talking about one goal, growing your wealth. Okay. The other thing is that whoever you date affects your discipline. Mm. They affect how you discipline yourself in terms of how you carry yourself, maybe how you program your day, how you balance yourself in terms of financial decisions. Very important. They also affect your future. Mm. If your future was to grow, let's say, for instance, you meet someone who is a drunkard, they always hop from one club to another. Mm. That person is going to determine the future that you're going to have. If they are hopping from one club to another, they're going to persuade you to be hopping from one club to another. Yeah. If you meet someone who is a family oriented person, this is a fun person who focuses on a generation wealth, then you're going to be building generational wealth. But if you meet someone who does not even know what is generational wealth, you're going to struggle. Mhm. Nowadays, I really drive. My throat gets dry very quickly. Hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. How are you? What do you think about this topic? Sexually transmitted wealth. I know it's controversial, but what do you think about it? Is it something that you've heard about? And what do you think about it? Because it's important topic that every person needs to talk about. Mhm. So let's continue with the topic. And so let me tell you something brutal. You cannot build wealth with someone who loves comfort more than growth. If you have someone who just love simple life, comfort, yeah, they call it soft life. If you first meet someone who loves soft life, going out, clubbing, and these kind of things, eating out, and you yourself, you are that person who loves growth, you will definitely be drilled back. Even if it's a 1 inch, it's still a loss. But if you meet someone who you are growth oriented, the two of you, you're not comfort oriented, you're gonna go far. So you cannot save money with someone who loves impressing strangers. That's true. If the person you have with is a person who will meet strangers and they'll be like, let's go have party, let me go buy you this and that, you're gonna be losing your money every single day. It is good to have fun. It is not bad. You can still have fun. You can still enjoy life, but it's not supposed to be a daily routine. If it becomes a daily routine, you are definitely lost. And definitely, you cannot become rich with someone who has no vision. If they don't have a vision, they are just waking up and going by the vibe, the day-to-day life. They don't have even a plan for tomorrow. Then it's gonna be difficult. You're gonna be struggling a lot because how do you grow your life if you don't even know, you don't even have a footprint, not even a direction? It's gonna be difficult, very difficult. Okay, so how people become poor through relationship. How people become poor through relationship. This is where most people mess up. You fall in love and then suddenly expensive dates every weekend, loans to impress your partner. Imagine taking a loan because of your partner. That is crazy. I cannot imagine that. You take a loan to take someone to Zanzibar. You take a loan to take someone to an expensive tour. You take. I normally see those kind of things. Tour companies telling you to live a pole pole, or you can take a loan for your vacation. Really? What kind of decision is that? You're taking a loan to go for a vacation. What is it for? If you don't have money to take yourself for vacation, then you're supposed to stop with it. But if you have to take a loan so that you can be able to take your partner for vacation, you are definitely lost. If you take a loan for you to do a wedding, that is the worst mistake you can ever make. Because how do you take a loan to start a family? Hmm? They will say that, I'm investing in my family. It is the best decision to invest. Never. If you don't have money to do the wedding, just stop it. Wait until you have money, or you can just start the relationship without having to do the most expensive wedding. You can do a simple wedding, and it's not supposed to be that expensive. But most people will take the expensive loan to impress the partner so that they don't get uh, the relationship gets validated that we did a big wedding. You impress family friends that we did our best wedding in the village. The whole family came. We ate all this and that. No, 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 my friend, never do that. In fact, most of the things that I have been seeing people do, you are doing a wedding. and you are putting people on a WhatsApp group, unaweka watu kwa WhatsApp group wakuchangie ufanye harusi, unaweka watu kwa WhatsApp group wakuchangie ufanye what do you call this, to pay dowry. My friend, please, if you're gonna put me on that WhatsApp group, maybe I'll not left, but I'll mute that WhatsApp group, never to know what is happening in it, because it is not an emergency. Why should you have to inconvenience people to feel guilty to contribute to you for your ratio? What for? Hmm? Why do you have to make people feel guilty to contribute for you for a wedding with something that is not an emergency? If you know you're gonna marry, you've met someone, and you've agreed that we are something, we're gonna take this to the next level. Then you start planning about it. You start saving for it. Yeah, you start budgeting. How much do we need for this wedding? Do we have the money? If you don't have the money, let's postpone about it. Let's maybe take 5 years dating until you get the money. But don't inconvenience people. This is the only habit. This habit I only see it in Africa. I think maybe in Kenya. I don't know whether the other African countries behave the same. Everything is an arambi. You going for a wedding, you need people to contribute for you. You're going for matanga, people to contribute for you. You're going for, the only thing that is an emergency is either sickness or death. That is the only thing you're supposed to call people to contribute for you. The rest of the things, you can do it for yourself. It's your own problem. So why do you have to involve other people in your own family affair? Hmm? Okay, so let's continue. My neighbor is listening to this kind of thing. So, taking loans to impress your partner, then supporting someone who refuses to work. Imagine someone, you meet with someone, and then they don't want to work. They don't even want to support your business. I had such a scenario. Someone wants to just spend the whole day in the bed complaining that they are this and that, and they want to be supported financially. Mm. They don't want to participate in building your dream, but they want you to support them. You're supposed to drop that relationship immediately. Like right now, just forget about it because it doesn't suit you. Mm. Baby before financial stability. This is another thing. I don't know. Many of us have suffered this kind of problem. Mm. You meet, you don't even plan about the children, and then you making babies and you don't even have plan for them, how they are going to be catered for, meals, education. This thing is not supposed to be emergency. If you met, before you can even continue further, you need to know we're gonna have how many children, how are we going to support them, how are we, which kind of school are we going to take to them, how are we going to raise money for their school fees. Hmm? Before you get a baby, you need to have planned for that baby. It's not an emergency, it's something that you know you're going to have. So talk about it openly, very early, and discuss every detail and get to understand. Because whenever the baby comes in, that's where you start seeing some some relationship problems. You know, because now you did not plan for it, and then the child is here, he or she needs to be fed, and you don't even know how to go about it. Most people fail there, and that's when you find most of the relationship fail in their third or mostly third year, between third and fifth year. That's when you find most of the relationship die, because at that point you've gotten your first child, and then you know kind of struggling to balance how you're going to raise this child. Yeah. But if you had planned about this child, you had known that you're gonna have this child, you're gonna raise this child, you're gonna take care of this child, you don't have any struggle. And most of the people that have already prepared for this kind of situation, they don't struggle. Hello, Ayanda Maria Stories. Wow, good to have you. Welcome. Hmm. Do you agree with me that most of the relationship by on their third year, between third and fifth year, mkipata mtoto wa kwanza tu hivi mnaanza kuwa na financial constraint, kwa sababu sasa before it was the two of you, hamkuwa na shida sana, mlikuwa mnajimanage. Mtoto ndio ameingia, anahitaji chakula, anahitaji pampers, and maybe now at that point you start now having a financial constraint, because now for you to cater for, thank you for agreeing with me, for you to cater for this innocent child, it needs additional resources that probably you're not saved for. So unaanza kupata ya kwamba you're having this disagreement, and maybe it's at that point you still want to maintain the same lifestyle you had when you did have a child, but this child is now taking part of the resources that you are sharing. At that point you cannot go out, and then you are used to going out, you are used to having a like expensive meals. At that point you are constrained, you cannot think about that. So you find most of the people wanaanza to struggle, and the struggle continues, and then stop. If it doesn't, if they don't discuss about it, it starts building up, building up. By the time you are in the fourth, fifth year, everyone mnatupiana mikono, kila mtu anaenda zake na mambo itachemka. So for you to avoid that, before the baby comes, talk about it, prepare for it, and it's gonna be easy if you have planned for it. But most of the people do not do that. It's a disaster. It just boom, and the relationship collapses. Yeah. So let's say it clearly. Love without financial intelligence is dangerous. You have to be very financially intelligent when it comes to love affairs. Some of you are not broke because you are of your salary. You are broke because of who you choose to have. You choose someone who you are not in the same page, you're gonna struggle a lot. So, how to attract wealth? How to attract wealth energy? Now, if wealth is if wealth can be transmitted, how can it? How you can attract it? First of all, you have to level up. You have to be in the same page. What is hard? Tell me, what is that? So if wealth is sexually transmitted, you have to be in the same level. You have to level up. You attract who you are, not what you want. Most of the people they want to attract someone. Maybe you want to attract this beautiful person. You want to attract someone who is wealthy, but you yourself, you're not wealthy. You yourself, you are this and that. This kind of energy you need to attract should be the same energy that you have. So if you have not leveled up in your financial discipline, you need to level up so that you can be able to attract someone who you are in the same level. Huwezi sema ya kwamba you have not built yourself in terms of financial discipline. You have not even worked yourself in terms of how to make money, how to save money, and you want to attract someone who has made money. And that's where most of the, I'm sorry to say this, but most of the ladies, they want someone who is wealthy. But they themselves hawajachangamka kutafuta pesa. Unapata ya kwamba mtu anakupea majukumu mengi, lakini yeye mwenyewe, they will term you as broke because you can't provide what they want, but they themselves, they can't provide what they want. Strange. Whatever you want, you can provide for yourself, but you want someone else to provide for that which you want. How does that happen? You need to level up to a point that the thing that you want, you can be able to take care of it if your partner is not able. But the other way around, most of the ladies will want someone who has married in life, they got their money, and they themselves want to be wanavutwa nyuma ndio waweze kuingia kwa hiyo mkondo. Hmm? That's where now the problem comes in. And that's where you find most of the guys struggle. And strangely, you will find a man taking a lady that has not built herself. She probably has not even a job. She has not any business. And this man will work to build this lady. But the opposite can never happen. You never find a lady taking someone, a young man or a man who has not made his own money and building them up. Never. If it happens, sometimes it will be not without challenges. Mm. Let me see whether we are going somewhere. Yeah. So now one is Dorcas Mutu. Dorcas Mutu Koapi. So okay, so let's continue. I was replying to some messages here from my customers. Okay, so if you want to grow wealth, if you want to attract someone who has some financial muscles, you also need to level up. So choose mindset over looks. Most people choose beautiful men, sorry, handsome men, but they don't know whether the looks will not pay bills. Beauty fades, but mindset builds empire. So most of the time, don't. Sometimes you might even find someone who is not that beautiful, but they will build you up. They will make you thrive like no one's business. Number three, watch their habits. Don't If they don't save, they don't invest, they don't grow. So how are you going to grow together? Check their circle. Their friends are not people that can be able to the friends that you hang around with are very important, very critical to determine who you are. They say, show me the person you hang around with, and I'll tell you the kind of person you are. If you hang around with the people who don't have direction, there's no way that you will have direction yourself. So number five, avoid emotional decisions. Feeling don't pay bills, discipline does. If someone is not disciplined, however you are connected, the feeling is so mutual, it will fade at some point. And whenever it fades, you will have hard time. Mhm. So here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Some relationships are poverty trap. Yeah, very true. Not every relationship is meant to build you. Some are there to distract you. Some are there to drain you. Some are there to delay your success. And the earlier you realize, the better. The faster you realize your life changes. You need to realize that some of these things that you're engaged in will not help you, and you choose the right path. If someone is inviting you for a club every single day, they are asking you for money. They are asking you to do for what? Forget about those people completely. They are not people that are going to help you. So the next time you fall in love, don't just ask, do I love this person? Ask yourself, is this person going to upgrade my life or downgrade it? Because wealth is not just about money, it is about decisions. Mm. And the person you choose might be the most expensive decision of your life. Eh, Ono ino kerenya. Ngwe na ngwe wa mino ndabye. Bano kera kiwa na iwe. Bana ngwe wa mino ndabye. Wezo wena ngwewe. Mundu we nomba yu eba ukiada. Ai we ba ukionywe. Wetha ine na tangi wenye wa kwiboke na kikwiboke. Eh. Eh. Andu ete niwe. Ha. Yeah. Chao. Na kionyo igora kuna mundu nyita. Na kionyo pia. Eh. Wabangara. No kami no kile CD ya kwangu kwa koma. No keto mi CD ya kwangu kwa koma. Tengo nguzi kwa no kwa koma. Mm. Kwa ugo kwa koma andwele. Wetha kachao tinya ngole tia. Kine. Mm. Chiwe. Mm. Una ina kwindi na mpesa na kwenda mundu na pesa yo kitumio ngeo kukia. Eh. Chao. Eh. Ah. Ono ngoya leo ndavita. Mm. No, ndinaweza kuwa ni za waze video iki bani ni ngwendo zwania. Mbona tena to bado masaile matiala ma kikasasta. Mm. Okay. Thanks.